Good evening, everybody. My name is Ivan Tamulkov. Welcome to episode 4 of Depths and Widths. Again, my name is Ivan Tamulkov, founder and CEO, chief human marketer of Razor Sharp Digital, the world's #1 human marketing agency, where we work with individuals and brands and helping them forge their digital footprint using multi-channel marketing, emotional engagement, and human-to-human business practices. Been doing this now for 26 years, and it seems like I just started yesterday. And I think it's the drive, it's the passion, it's the curiosity that keeps driving me in what I do. Now, in this particular episode, I want to talk about something that I think, a lot of people probably wonder about, but a lot of people simply struggle with. They struggle with getting the things that they want in life and in business, mainly because they give up. They give up. Things get hard, and they simply don't want to put in the time. They don't put in the work. And I will tell you this much: your true inner strength is tested in times of despair. So, how bad do you want something? I got an email earlier today from one of my clients, and I was just checking in with her and see how things were going. And she said, I think I'm going to give up on this. She's wanting to start a home fitness studio, and she's been spending time with family. She's been kind of limited because of COVID, and she said, "Ivan, I think I'm quitting. I think I'm giving up." And my response was like, "What? You're doing what? You're going to give up?" And mind you, this is someone that has paid me some money to do something already, and they just decided to throw in the towel because things got tough. And before I talk about the things that I want to share with you on this episode, I want you to remember that at the end of the day, there's nothing that's impossible. You can get just about everything in life and in business, but a lot of it has to do with the person that you are and the purview that you have on the world. Okay. So if you want to accomplish things in life and in business, whatever it might be, you got to set big goals. The bigger, the better. Because the reward when you reach those goals is that much sweeter. And here's what I'm talking about. For instance, some of my goals currently, some of my more short-term goals is I'm looking at purchasing a new vehicle. I've had an Audi Q7. It's a 2007, so it's 13 years old now, and it's over 200,000 miles. But the car still keeps going, and it's a very sentimental vehicle for me. But nonetheless, I know that I'm going to need a new vehicle. So, over the next 6 to 8 months, I'm looking to purchase a new vehicle, and so, I have wanted an Audi A6 for quite some time. I've been an Audi fan for a long time, and so that's one of my short-term goals. One of my other short-term goals is that next year, my son is going to be starting preschool. And so we are looking to potentially relocate to a new district, and would love to buy a new house, one that we are going to be in for, quite a long period of time, where I can see my kids grow and being able to be in a great school district. So, these are my two short-term goals. Some of my other short-term goals include taking care of some debt, because when you start a business, let's face it, you're going to incur some debt. And, that's the essential part of risking and sacrificing and investing, for the hope of, a greater outcome. That's what an entrepreneur does. You take calculated risks, so to speak. But if you ask me, there's no such thing really as calculated risks. You just take risks, really. So, if you want to get the things that you want in life and in business, if you want to, if you want that big house, if you want your bank account to get deeper, if you want to make more money, if you want to build a business, you have to set big goals. The bigger, the better. Some of my long-term goals include, a luxury car, sports car that I've wanted. I would love to get our dream house next year. I would love to become financially free, be able to travel more with my family. And, in the reality of things, even though there's long-term and short-term goals, it's important to have long-term goals, to set those long-term goals, reflect on those long-term goals, but also have short-term goals. And again, the bigger the better, because you need to have a purpose to strive towards of why you're doing what you're doing. When I started my company, Razor Sharp Digital, this was 4 years ago, I knew that I'd be able to build the #1 human marketing agency in the world. And now, 4 years later, when things are just coming to fruition, I'm starting to realize that, that was a big enough goal, and I feel like I'm slowly fulfilling that goal, that vision, that dream that I had set out, and actually it was probably longer than 4 years ago since that vision really was circulating in my head, but it wasn't until 4 years ago when I actually executed on that. So again, you have to set big goals. You have to work hard. Anybody that I have met that has been able to achieve their long-term goals, their dreams, bring those to reality, they were the hardest worker that I knew. They were relentless in their pursuit, and they just worked their asses off. And that is something that actually the lifelong learner does. You just work your ass off, because that never stops. In fact, as you get closer to reaching your goals and your dreams, you're going to work even harder. And, I was talking with another client of mine earlier today, and said, man, I'm putting in 12-hour days and I feel like I'm still behind. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I hear you. And he said, I'm definitely looking to hire somebody. He's another agency owner. So I'm looking to hire somebody to help me. I said, well, you just got to remember that, the reason why you have the things that you have is because you're a hard worker, and it's just part of your DNA, but nonetheless, whatever it is that you're after in life or in business, you're going to have to work hard for it. Really, really, really hard. And sometimes, it's going to feel like you're not even making any strides. You're not even chipping away at your goals and dreams. But I can guarantee you that keep working hard, and everything will come together in due time. You have to understand the risks are essential, to anything that you want to accomplish in life and in business. If you're not a risk taker, you're gonna have a very hard time, reaching your goals and dreams, because you have to risk. Risk is where the opportunities come about, and you'll have to become comfortable with taking risks. Now, a lot of people don't want to take risks because, risks are unpredictable. And believe it or not, most Americans, don't take risks because they don't like the inevitable. They don't like the things that they cannot predict, they cannot control. But if you want to advance your life and your business, you have to understand that risks are essential. And also understand, speaking of risks, that there are no guarantees there. That's why it's called a risk, because you're taking a chance on something. It's an experiment in an essence. You have to be consistent. Honestly, I'll give you prime examples. I've seen my father, for instance, with his business. He's coming up on 20 years in business now. And the one thing that, he has done relentlessly is be consistent, day in and day out. And, that's extremely hard to do. Personally, it's a struggle of mine, because even though I strive to be consistent, in everything that I do, I also fall short in a lot of occurrences. So to be able to achieve 100% consistency is extremely important. Whatever it is, whether it's building a business or in your relationships, with money or whatever it might be. I know that one of my, um, you know, biggest jobs, probably the most important job that I have, is being a father. I have a beautiful 4-year-old son and a beautiful 2-year-old daughter. And the most important job to me is being a father. So I know being consistent in my duties and my responsibilities, as a father is going to contribute to becoming a great role model for my children, later on in life. And I know that that is one job that I simply cannot fail, no matter what I do. And so I'm consistent in that regard. I'm also consistent with my business. And, I want you guys to understand that you have to do these things if you want to accomplish the things that you want in life and in business. And again, if you're just tuning in, my name is Ivan Temmelkov, a Chief Human Marketer at Razor Sharp Digital. We are talking about how to get everything you want in life and in business. And I was just talking about the importance of consistency. And what does that really mean? Consistency is trust. Consistency is dependability. And, that's how you come off to people. If you're inconsistent, they're not going to be able to trust you. So building relationships in life and building relationships in business is all about consistency. You have to be able to follow your heart and your gut. It's sometimes it might feel like you're not making the right decision, but when the rest of the world thinks that you're making the wrong decision. But I'll tell you this, as long as your heart and your gut is telling you that you should do something, follow it. I have never gone wrong with, acting from my heart or what my gut told me, simply because it's about intuition. It's about, how that you should be doing something and not being dependable on what everybody else is telling you to do. Because that's in reality what a lot of people do. A lot of people are afraid to follow their heart and their gut because they're afraid of the judgment that society is going to pass on them. So I want you guys to think about that. Are you following your heart? Are you following your gut? Never give up. Never. This has probably been one of the toughest lessons that I have learned, especially in business, and that is the fact that giving up simply isn't an option. And I used to give up, on a lot of things. I used to give up because I wouldn't get something right the first time, the second time, even the third time. And one thing that I have learned in entrepreneurship specifically is that some of the most successful people out there that have built profitable businesses, successful businesses, being able to fulfill their goals and dreams, have just found 40,000 ways to fail and one way to succeed. And so, I want you to think about this, never give up no matter what. Just keep going, keep grinding, whatever it is that you're doing. If you're passionate about it, if you're devoted towards it, if you're following your heart and your gut, I guarantee you that you'll be able to get the things that you want. But you can't give up. Giving up is giving up on your dreams and your goals. And so, I really want you guys to think about that, because a lot of people do give up. They give up when things get hard. When the state of the economy changes. Like right now, everything that's happening with COVID-19, and I just heard. I cannot quite confirm it, that the state of California is now closed because of a second round of COVID-19 and the rate of the cases that are skyrocketing. And so A lot of people are now in fear. Anyone who, has a business or was thinking about starting a business is probably throwing in the towel. And so that is probably one of your biggest assets, is not giving up when everybody else is giving up. Um, you have to understand that spending money to make money is essential, especially in business. You have to invest, you have to spend, on additional skills, on resources, on talent, on software, on many different things, regardless of what industry or vertical that you're in. And a lot of people don't understand. I mean, I don't care how knowledgeable you are, how educated you might be. You need to understand that spending money to make money is simply essential. And that's where I think a lot of entrepreneurs struggle in understanding that you'll have to spend money to make money, because to get what you want in life and in business, it's just that simple. um, it's okay to be unconventional. We live in a world where too many people are conventional. They are too mediocre, and being unconventional is actually a breath of fresh air. It's important to be different, because we don't all want to be the same, nor we should all be the same in the world and society. And that's actually what brings a fresh flavor to the mix. Let's take business for example. I always use the example of Elon Musk, who is the owner of Tesla and SpaceX, right? And when Tesla started, I think there was knowledge about electric vehicles, but in the reality of things is, I don't think anybody suspected that Elon Musk would actually start a company called Tesla that was a 100% electric car, electric automaker, I should say. And I guarantee in the beginning, everybody thought that Elon Musk was unconventional. I mean, who would have thought, 5, 10 years ago, probably 10 years ago now, I would say, or 10 plus years ago, whenever Tesla started, that electric cars were going to be the thing of the past, right? Because we have always driven combustion engines for, like, as long as cars have been around. And even though some automakers have made passes at creating electric vehicles, they gave up on it because they were sabotaged by the oil companies, or the technology hadn't sophisticated. And so someone like Elon Musk, who was seen as very unconventional, came in and did something very unconventional, and then suddenly it becomes a conventional thing, and that being now Tesla, as a company, exists and makes the world's best electric car. So do you see where I'm getting at? Is how being unconventional in life and in business is actually a huge plus. And what I'm talking about specifically is it's okay to be different than everybody else. The way that you do things differently than everybody else, whatever that might be, that is what makes you different. That's what makes you unique. That is what the world needs. That is what business needs. That's probably what your life needs. If you've been living a very traditional life, I guarantee you probably bored off your mind. And so it's okay to be unconventional. It's okay to do, something new, something different, something that you haven't tried before, or something that you wanted to try, but you were afraid to try because you were so worried about the judgment that everybody else would pass on you. Now, last but not least, what I want to share with you guys is, if you want to accomplish the things that you want in life and in business, most importantly, you have to dream big. I'm talking about, like, dream, the world can be yours. The world is your oyster, because it can be. There's nobody or nothing out there that's stopping you to do that. And at the end of the day, it's totally up to you of how big your dreams are. I know a lot of people don't dream. A lot of people don't have goals. A lot of people are afraid to take action. A lot of people are just part of the herd. A lot of people are just doing everything that the government is telling them, or with what they've been taught to do traditionally. I know growing up personally, I was told that I needed to go to school and get, my education and get a job and, hopefully save some money, buy a house, get married, have kids, maybe save some money for retirement and die. And I don't know about you guys, but that's no way to live a life, if you ask me. It's a very rudimentary approach. It's a very traditional, very conventional way of living a life. And so I talked about it in the post earlier today on my personal profile that, there's absolutely nothing enticing about a $45,000 salary. Absolutely nothing. And that is gross. That is net. So by the time, the net, I bring home, I'm broke. So I've been working jobs for the vast majority of my life where I'm still broke after I get my paycheck. And I don't know about you guys, but, I wasn't brought on this earth to work a dead end job. I wasn't brought on this earth to live a conventional life. I wasn't brought on this earth to, just be a part of the herd. And I think it's important for you to realize that too, that you were given a life for a reason. You were given an opportunity for a reason. You were put on this planet for a reason. Now, you might not have discovered what your reason is or what your purpose is. Some people spend, their entire life finding out what their purpose is. That's okay. Honestly, it's better to spend the rest of your life discovering what your purpose is than doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. Because I know in the short term, it probably makes sense, right? Go work a full-time job, get a paycheck, pay off some bills. But are you really truly doing what you enjoy? Or besides that, are you in a relationships that you're happy? Is your life going in a direction that you had hoped? This is why, again, most importantly, you have to dream big. That is the single most important thing. I'll give you an example. There's times when my wife thinks that I'm kind of crazy, and that's okay. Maybe I am, but we're talking about kind of long-term goals, and I was talking about that. I want it all, and I will have it all. That's my big dream. And here's the thing. I know that many people are going to laugh at you. They're going to laugh at you at your goals, at your dreams. That's okay. Let them laugh at you. You don't, the only person that you have to satisfy is yourself. You shouldn't worry about what anyone else says or does, nor should you worry about, validation or approval from anybody else. I think a lot of people look for that because, if your dreams are different, and they should be, than everyone else around you, then of course, people are going to see you as an anomaly simply because you have different dreams than them, and that's extremely important. You should have your own dreams, your own goals. You should dream big as possible, because I will tell you this, there's nothing more rewarding than fulfilling your goals and dreams and proving all those people who were naysaying that you were incapable of accomplishing that, proving those people wrong, honestly. But most importantly is winning, knowing that, you set big goals, you worked hard, you took a lot of risks, you were consistent, you followed your heart and your gut, and you never gave up no matter what the circumstances. You just didn't give up. You were resilient enough to just keep going. You understood that you have to spend money to make money, from a business standpoint. There's just no alternative, and you were okay with being unconventional. It's funny. 4 years ago when I started Razor Sharp Digital, everybody thought that I was completely unconventional, that I was crazy, that this would never come to fruition ever. And now 4 years later, when things are really just starting to take off, it's amazing to see how some people are coming around. The very same people who, would say, "No, Ivan, you should just go back to a regular job. Think about your family." It's like, think about my family. Going back to a dead end job, the one a job where I'm still going to be broke after I get my paycheck. Yeah, that's not taking care of my family. That's forcing my family to struggle even more. And so this is one of the reasons why I started Razor Sharp Digital is because I wanted to pave my own path, a path that my family is a part of, to be able to have ultimate freedom. And you should as well. You should do the same thing. Create a path for yourself. Follow that path, regardless of what anybody tells you. And it may sound cliche. You may sound cliche. I know. To many people, your dreams and goals are going to sound cliche. They're going to sound unrealistic. And too many people are literally going to tell you that you need to go back and cut your losses while you can. Trust me. I've been there, done that. But I will tell you this, there's nothing more rewarding than fulfilling your goals and dreams and proving the naysayers and the haters wrong. Literally, that is like the ultimate win. And so I want you to win. I know you can win. I know you can accomplish the things that you want in life and in business, but you're going to have to do all the things that I just mentioned. You're going to have to set big goals. You're going to have to work hard. You're going to have to take risks. You're going to have to be consistent and resilient in your efforts. Follow your heart and your gut every single time. Never give up, no matter what the circumstances. And you're going to have to spend money to make money. And that's all there's to it, Be unconventional. Understand that being unconventional is a huge asset. And most importantly, always, always, always dream big. I love you guys. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to share it out there with someone who needs to hear it. Actually, the Depths and Widths show is something that just kind of, came about randomly, believe it or not. But I'm really enjoying it. 4 episodes into it, and hopefully I can do this on a nightly basis and chat with you guys and, share my thoughts, insights, personal experiences, and also give you some advice that, hopefully can help you in life and in business. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in, whether it's on the live or on the replay. I hope you guys have a great evening, and I will talk to you later. Take care. Bye-bye.